Hello, I'm Pamela Davis. Welcome to episode 230 of the Well Done Life podcast. And hello, welcome back to episode 230 of the Well Done Life podcast. I'm your host, Pamela Davis. If you are new here, hey, how are you? Welcome. I am so glad that you're here this week. I hope that you'll stay for a very long time. If you've been here before, you guys know the deal. I love you deep. Thank you so much for continuing to rock with me. I wouldn't be in this journey without you, and I am so grateful for you. So I definitely need you to stay and bring lots of friends. Before we get started with this week's episode, I like to be really foundational. It's really important for me to make sure that we are setting the stage for this beautiful house that we're building. Yes, I treat this like a house. I feel like this is a safe space, so we need to make sure that our foundation is strong, and it's built on two very important things, which are clarity and love. Clarity is really straightforward. I just want to make sure that you understand that I created the Well Done Life brand because I believe in the power of women. I believe in us needing space where we can just be, where we can be our most authentic selves, where we can talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and use this as an opportunity to learn from each other. I've always felt like I needed spaces when I was going through where I could just glean from other people who were going through so many different phases of life, and I can get an opportunity to, help me see that some of the things that I was experiencing or that I am experiencing just are not synonymous with my mistakes, because yes, I make lots of them and I've continued to make them, but that other people have gone through it too, or are going through certain things like caregiving, health challenges, grief, all of the things, but that we can talk about our journey, that we can share the good, the bad of those experiences so that we can make it, so that we can realize that it's not all going to end right here. It doesn't have to. There's different choices that can be made. There's different ways of looking at things so that we can just continue to learn and grow. So that's what really the Well Done Life is all about. And so I hope that by me sharing my journey, like I said, the good and bad of it all, because it's been quite a journey up to this point, that you see that you can make it, and that you also understand that you know what, you can go different paths. And so I like to spotlight my journey as well as the journey of other women so that you can see what they're doing in the community and hopefully recognize, like I said, that there is a way for you to make it through too. So I hope that you will be inspired and that you will share your story with someone else, because there is a woman out there who definitely is watching you and who needs you, and you just don't even realize it. So keep shining, sis. This is what this spot is here to help you do. It's here to help you shine. And then along that line, it's all about love here. My second foundation, my main foundation, I'm a sucker for love. I believe in love is love, and everything that we do in this space is going to be rooted as such. And so one of the things that I like to do every week is I like to share prayers with you. I truly believe in the power of prayer. I believe in the power of more than one coming together in prayer, to magnify. And so for me, it's very important that I want you to know that I pray for you, because I truly believe that you are praying for me and for praying for all of us in this world, because we need it. So this week, I'm going to stand on my foundational prayer, of course. I'm going to keep standing on it because I think we need it. I don't know when I'm going to stop, because peace is essential, and the world just continues to be maddening, to say the least. And so I am praying that you take pockets of peace for yourself. We're all trying to do all the things, and life is coming at us really quick sometimes. I pray that you take a moment to breathe, that you give yourself a moment where you close your eyes and you stand still or sit still, and you just breathe. You breathe in, you breathe out. You actually give yourself an opportunity to listen to the sound of your breath and let go. Let go of all the things that are stressing you out right now. I don't care how small it is. If it's a stressor, it has got to go, because your body needs to regulate. You need to let your mind have a moment to relax, because in that relaxation, in that regulation in your side of your body, it helps you to find clarity. And that's my second prayer for you, clarity, because it is very important. If not now, it is never going to be more important than for you to have clarity. You have to be able to see things as they are, because again, there's so much noise always in the world. You have to be able to see things clearly. You have to recognize where you are on the journey, and give yourself the space to acknowledge that sometimes it's okay to need help. It's okay that you might need to stop for a moment. It's okay to keep going, even though it may not make sense to other people. But a lot of times you need to have clarity in order to figure out the path that you need to go. Because a lot of times we're just operating off of information that's being given to us in that particular moment, which is the nature of life. But you have to understand sometimes emotions can be clouded and can guide you in places that you don't necessarily need to go. And you would only figure that out if you took a moment of clarity. So that's why I kind of put peace and clarity together, because they do go hand in hand. A lot of times, if we don't give ourselves a moment of peace where we sit in stillness and allow ourselves to regulate our mind, our body, and our breath, we don't have the ability to be clear. And so I want you to have a moment of peace and a moment of clarity so that you can make the best decision based upon the information that you have inside of yourself and peace. Because inside of that is a good path, not necessarily a path that is going to lead you into situations where your anxiety is going to be exacerbated. It is at least in that moment that you have made a decision based upon a self-clear, regulated thought versus just instantaneous moments and being in a reactive state. We have to be strategic. We have to be thoughtful. We have to be considerate, and we have to be clear, because you have to protect yourself. And there is nothing wrong with that. It is not selfish. It is protective, and you deserve to be protective and made the best decisions for yourself at all times. And so, of course, like I said, peace and clarity go together. And then along that line, I'm always going to wish you love. I think love is essential. I know. Like I said, it is one of my main foundations here, but I'm talking about good love. I'm talking about reciprocal love. I always like to throw a reminder about love every once in a while out here, because I think we need to be in situations where we recognize that reciprocal love is where it's at. And because if you think about it, and I've talked about it before, I've even done an episode about it, to be able to love someone in this time is a very revolutionary act. It is very revolutionary to love someone fully, to love them with the content of your character, your soul, your heart, and to be open to them is very revolutionary, because the world right now will tell you so many different things about love. And so you have to really make sure that you are surrounding yourself in love that is reciprocal. And I'm not just talking about it from a romantic standpoint. I'm also talking about it from a community standpoint, from a friendship standpoint, from a family standpoint. You have to have a circle of people around you who are thorough. You do. You need people who are thorough. When I say thorough, I mean people that you can ride with, people that you can count on, people that you know will hold you down when the world comes apart, people that you can go to, that you can build with, that you can think expansive with. You have to know. And it doesn't mean that people are perfect. It's not about perfection. It's about people who will get it done and who will have your back in this day and time, in particular, the world that we are living in right now. You do not have the luxury any longer of surface level relationships. You really don't. You don't have time for that. You don't have time to be around people that you can't trust, who you don't believe would be there for you if you need them, because you need to make sure that you're able to cultivate a group who can support you, who can encourage you, who can be down for you, who you can, like I said, build with. And you need to be that person as well. You need to be able to be a thorough friend, someone else can rely on and lean on. It can't just be one-sided, but it is very important, because like I said, love is a revolutionary. It is it's very powerful. And to be loved is just as revolutionary of an act. So you need to be the friend, the love that you desire. You need to be that person. And it's time, like I said, to look at the people that you are surrounding yourself with And make sure that you have the right team. You need the right team. And then rounding out my prayers this week, I'm always going to stand on abundance. I'm going to keep standing on it. Of course, abundance, we instantly think of financial abundance. And of course, I always want you to be blessed so that you can be a blessing to other people and to yourself and to your families. But I want you to be abundant in your spirit. I want you to, while all the world is doing all the things, make sure that you are out here cultivating memories that are going to last a lifetime. Memories that are going to be even more monetarily wealthy, that are going to create more wealth is how I probably should have said that, versus just stuff. Because it's not about stuff. It's about the memories. It's about how people make you feel, how you make other people feel. Be wealthy in your spirit, because that is the wealth that is untold. And when you have that, that's where the fruit of life flows from. Abundance in your spirit. Because when you're abundant in your spirit, you see the true value of things, the true value of people, and it will only continue to flourish in your life. And then from a monetary perspective, which like I said, we've kind of talked about it before. Remember, you deserve the best. You deserve to be financially well. You deserve to be able to be a blessing to other people and to yourself. Make sure that you are framing your perspective with money, that you have the ability to attract money, that you deserve money, that you are not operating from a place of lack, even though you see things getting more expensive or, bills and coming up and things coming against, because that's always going to be that way to kind of test your mindset, to test your mettle. Never forget that you have the ability to make more, that you have the ability to have more, to do more, to give more, all of those things. Like I said, it's a mindset shift. And at some point, maybe we'll talk a little bit more about it. But I definitely think you cannot have a mindset of lack and expect to be abundant, because your mindset is always going to hold you back, and you have to shift that. You have to believe that you are worthy and are deserving of more money to be able to do the things that you desire to do, and that this season that you may be in is temporary, and you just have to learn the lessons to get out of it and to stay out of it. So hopefully that will give you some perspective around abundance from a practical standpoint. Like I said, I know mostly whenever you say the word abundant, it's instantly finances. So just wanted to throw that in there, because it is the part about being able to have wealth and attract wealth. It begins in the mind, not necessarily the wallet, but that's a story for another time. So I'm very excited. Those are my prayers. Again, thank you for allowing me to share my prayers with you. And I believe that they are truly going to come back and manifest. But like I was about to say, I am so excited to be here with you recording. It is Saturday, August the 23rd, and I'm recording at 6:18 a.m. Yes, I am up early because I have a lot of adulting to do today. And I kind of put off recording for a bit, not because I didn't know what I wanted to talk about, but I just needed to make sure I was ready. I wasn't ready. I'll be honest. That kind of part of my process is I don't just dial stuff in. I have to be aligned. God has to tell me that it's time. And he told me that it was time this morning. So he woke me up and here I am. I want to thank you guys for your support of last week's episode. I really am excited about that. Dying to self, releasing the ego, my childhood built. And actually, it's not last week's episode. It's been up since August the 10th because I've been kind of like on a little sabbat, as I like to call it, little sabbatical. I had to take a quick break and because I needed it. And I just want to thank everyone for their grace, because sometimes it's, like I said, it's like that. You just have to take a moment. But I am here now. I am back. And I'm very excited about it because technically, if I think about it, the way that I wanted to frame up this episode is I wanted to talk to you guys about one of the most significant things that I've ever done in my life. Yep, one of the most significant things that I ever did in my life, have done in my life, occurred actually a year ago. Actually today, when you guys were listening to it, not technically it'll be August the 24th, which will be tomorrow when you guys hear this episode. But it was a year ago almost today, because last year Saturday was the 24th, and I had hosted my first event, the Reset Experience, and it was a one-day event that I curated and held in Lake Nona at the Wave Hotel. And it's an event that is, like I said, it's for women. It's a women's event targeting 4 main areas. And it is mental health, physical health, financial health, and building community. Because when I fell apart many, many years ago and I broke and all of those areas went to crap. Like literally I hit rock bottom in each one of them. And so from that point on, I had been on a quest, a journey, which led me to this podcast, to creating this space where I needed to find resources and solutions to help me heal in this area. I'm very blessed. Let me, of course, always preface it by saying I have a wonderful tribe. I have a wonderful clique. I got a wonderful group, a community of women who I'm very blessed to call very good friends. But during that time when I was going through it, I was in a season where they were not. And I was a caregiver. I lost my dad. It was just, I was beginning to experience the cycles of life that a lot of us don't talk enough about. We don't, like I said, talk about being the ones to have to take care of our families. We don't have to talk about being the ones to have to bury our families. You know, when those first losses and changes occur in life, it can be really life altering. It can be, it is. It's super life altering. And we don't teach people how to prepare for that. Because I know personally, I never had those conversations with my parents earlier about, oh, you know, there's going to come a day when I can't take care of myself and I'm going to need to move in your house. And you're going to have to make that decision in under 3 hours. And you're going to recognize that under 3-hour decision is going to impact you and be something that you're going to do for the last 16, going on 16 years of your life. You know, it's different. And you don't have those discussions. And so I just, like I said, I kind of fell apart in all of those areas because I didn't really have resources to talk about it. I didn't really understand the impacts to not just myself financially, but physically and mentally. And how I lost my ability to build community. I spent a lot of time isolated within myself because I was frustrated with what I was going through and I just didn't know how to articulate it properly. So long story short, short story long, it led me to a journey of healing that led me to creating this podcast and that led me to wanting to conceive this event. So I am very grateful for a retreat that I had with some friends at the time back in California that allowed me to have the creative space to outline how this plan for the reset would take place. And then, of course, I always have to give special praise and reverence to my friend and my brand manager, Tita Walker, who worked with me last year to put this beautiful event together. And she and I got it done together. And I am so grateful for what we were able to produce. And it was a beautiful event. I am very honored to have the opportunity to have Yasmin Cheyenne, the author of The Sugar Jar, as well as Wisdom of the Path as our keynote speaker. And I had a dynamic slate of women in each of those categories who told their story and who gave knowledge and resources. I mean, we're talking mental health, then we're going into physical health. I had the doctors because let's talk about the fact that the things that we are experiencing mentally really shape us physically. I mean, like I told you guys, I broke down. I was physically like at my worst when I was going through really the height of my caregiving. And I could barely walk up the stairs in my house at one point, and I had gained I had so much stress and inflammation in my body. I remember one time I had gone to the doctor and literally I had gained about 30 pounds in a month. And the doctor was like, I need you to calm down because you're not going to make it if you don't shift your life. And it was just craziness. And so, like I said, we had resources. I wanted to talk about that. And God bless, I wasn't even in perimenopause at that point. So I didn't have that extra little conundrum, but I wanted to, like like I said, have resources where we talk about that and we talk about weight loss. And so I had my obesity medicine doctor there, Dr. Jadine Hill. And Dr. Hill and I were not actually working together at that point. I hadn't even started my weight loss journey then. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. But like I had Dr. Louisa Ferdinand. She is also on my team now. She wasn't on my team then, but she is my menopause specialist. And I am so grateful for her because she has truly been a part of my transformation this year. So we're going to talk about that too, because I got to talk about that. And then also I had my chiropractor, Dr. Pari Limbacha on there. Yes. And we have been together. Dr. Pari and I have been going together for a long time. Like our relationship is super deep. That woman saved my life because, as a part of my healing journey, trying to figure out who I was and going through all my mental shifts and adjustments, I decided I was a runner. Y'all, I did. And I was running 5Ks. I've run half marathons. I've done a full marathon. So child, to say I was broke down was an understatement because I had to be honest. I was over 200 pounds. I was over 200, close to 300 pounds out here running up and down on these pavement streets. And that's a lot of weight pounding on these little bones. So child, I had done a lot to this body, and that is definitely, Dr. Pari had seen me through knee surgery and everyone. I mean, she literally was the person who diagnosed my knee issue because I had given up going to a primary care physician, but that's a whole nother conversation. I'm just going to say I was going through some things mentally. And so I was only going to my chiropractor. I don't recommend that, but she was the doctor who I trusted and she got me through. So I'm just going to say I made a decision based upon the information that was given at that time. But anywho, I digress. And that's right, I forgot. I also have my therapist there as well as a resource, Urbanthia Derkarish. She is amazing, and she and I have been rocking together for a minute. And so, yes, I guess hopefully you can see a theme. One of the biggest things that I wanted to make sure that we did outside of create a beautiful, luxurious experience, because the Wave Lake Nona Hotel is gorgeous, and we had a gorgeous environment that was small, that was intimate for women so that we could create space to really, truly heal, because that is very important to me, and we're going to talk about that. But I really want to make sure I highlight this point. For me, having this event was important because I didn't want to gatekeep. I literally wanted people to have access to resources that I vetted, that I have tried and true. So there's nothing better than me giving you my gynecologist, well, she wasn't at the time, but, she became that. The people that my therapist, my chiropractor, like I wanted to show people that, like I walk it like I talk it. Like if I tell you something, I'm not just going to tell you something to tell you something because that's a waste of time. I want you to have it because you deserve it. And we need to have the real honest conversations, especially as women, especially as Black women, when we discover resources that are changing our lives, because each of those women have changed my life. And so I wanted to make sure that that was a very big thing. Like we don't gatekeep. Like these women are tried, true, invested. And so I want to make sure that people understood that. And that was a really big thing. And that was one of the main things about having the Reset experience and the way that I cultivated it. I really wanted it to be, like I said, it's an intimate event. I wasn't trying to do it to sell thousands of tickets because that doesn't give me the opportunity to have a real intimate connection with people. And I really wanted that. I wanted women to be able to talk to each other. I wanted them to be able to interact with our speakers. I wanted women to be able to really have unique resources. So like one of the things that we curated is we had Compass Collective, which is an online small woman-owned bookstore. And we had her there, Azi, who I love, curate books, specific resources tied to all of the categories, the pillars, so that women could actually get books right there tied to all the pillars and be able to interact like, oh, women got a chance to interact with Yasmin and take pictures and have their book signed and talk to each other about what they're reading. Because again, that is a really big thing for me when doing the reset. It's all about connection. It's all about sharing resources. It's all about being open and honest with each other. Those are really, really important to me. And on top of that, because I know I talked about a few of the pillars, like from a financial standpoint, I had Leslie Batson. She had been previously on the podcast, talk about finances. I had building community as our final pillar. And I had that stacked with a Z from Compass Collector, because she is a community builder, Tamara Boone and Sheena Jackson, who are also strong community leaders here in Central Florida. So to me, it really was, like I said, making sure that I was creating spaces where women of all different walks of life, all different types of mindsets could really get together and just take a chance to breathe and to heal. Because like I said, I love a beautiful space and I love a space that curates that. So in my spaces, it's all about softness. It's all about relaxation. It's about making sure everything that you could want is right there for you, because I know that's very rare for us to have. And so that you don't have to think about it and you can actually flow. And so, yeah, that's what I did last year. And I have never been more proud of something in my life. Like Tita and I recently got a chance to reconnect, because it had been a while since we had seen each other, with the holidays and with travel and summer. And we were both talking about how we did that. Like, we really did that. We really put so much heart and soul into this event. And so it was just truly, truly beautiful, and how we cannot wait to do it again. And so, yes, like I said, I have talked about this before. I had kind of mentioned, I had a plan that I was going to come in and do this in 2025. Like literally last year in November, we had a retreat. We went to Tampa. We fleshed it out, honey. We did a map. Like literally we did truly team-based problem solving, actioned out a plan, had it all put together, and was feeling really great about it. And then 2025 hit, and literally less than 60 days in, God was like, no. Yeah. God was like, nah, my girl, I need you to sit down. I know you guys are probably like in your mind thinking like, what? I was like, yes, I literally in less than 60 days. I don't even think I made it through January without realizing that it wasn't going to happen. And the reason that it wasn't going to happen is, like I said, God told me no. But God, behind telling me no, was also telling me that this was a year of shifts for me. And when I say shifts, it was definitely a year where I was going to need to take 2025 to really take care of myself mentally, physically, spiritually, to grow financially, just like to do so many things. This was a year where I would experience loss. And he was right. I wound up losing my godmother this year, and it really has affected me. I've also watched my mother's health decline, a change and shift. And I've personally been on a health journey. Like, I'll be honest, y'all, I am I'm 3 pounds away from my goal weight. This will be the thinnest I've ever been in my adult life. And I'm really excited about it. I just went actually yesterday and weighed in. I'm 202 pounds. My goal was that I wanted to be under 100 pounds. And I have been working personally on losing that weight since September 20th of 2024. That's actually when I started working with Dr. Hill. And so, and just for context, I think when I started, I was close to 300 pounds. And so I've lost a significant amount of weight. And with the help of a GLP-1, I know there's a lot of controversy right now with Serena Williams and her coming out and saying that she used it to lose weight. I'm not going to really get into it like that, because I want to make sure it's coming from a genuine place, not just so that I can add commentary to an already existing conversation. And I've been very transparent as well with you guys about it, but I have, and it's not a magic pill. It has definitely been a journey. I have been working my behind off to get to this point, and I'm very excited that I probably fingers crossed, mindset, water, peace, stress levels managed, will hit my goal before I'm actually a year in, which is awesome. That's really not like my mindset. Like my mindset isn't like I got to beat my goal. It's like in a year, I want to be, at my goal and in a really healthy trajectory. But I just want to say, yeah. So like, I'm a whole new person. I'm a whole new person physically as well as mentally. And like I said, it's the losses, it's the shifts. I'll be honest, it's the madness in the world right now. There's so many things going on that I just was like, you know what? I can't do it. And when I made that decision, I had a lot of grief. I had a lot of guilt. I grieved because it's like I really had put so much effort into, planning, and really, like I said, we had a retreat. I mean, we were ready, but so I felt guilty about that. Like, gosh, I spent all this time doing this, and you're telling me, Lord, I'm not ready. And then I had to recognize and just kind of pray about the fact that sometimes things are delayed, but they're not denied. And that has truly been a theme. I say that very often. I've said that to my love quite a bit, like delayed, not denied. And so I've had to really understand that that is part of the purpose, because all of these things that I am going through are building me back better, are building me back stronger, are building me to have an opportunity to recognize that taking this pause is going to help me be able to continue to grow. And if I think about it, my personal growth, my physical growth, all of those things are really, like I said, alignment for the pillars, because like I said, the reset pillars are mental health, physical health, financial health, and building community. And so for me, this time that I have been in has allowed me to have rest and clarity in my mental health. And physically, it's allowing me to honor my body and my journey. And financially, it's allowing me to be more of a steward and to prepare for what I want to do in 2026, because I love a grand moment. I love a grand moment. And I'm going to make sure I share a link to the video for last year's moment. It was grand, baby. It was grand. I'm like doing the little finger snap because I definitely want to continue that. It is very important for me to create a luxurious, peaceful space for women because we deserve it. Why shouldn't we be able to heal and thrive in peace and luxury? Just saying. And I just feel like ultimately I had to remember that God's redirection this year is just preparation for 2026. Because baby, when I'm back in 2026, we have so much to talk about. And like I said, I'm only just covering some of the things. I mean, literally, my life is changing in so many wonderful, beautiful ways. I could never have expected to be as happy and as fulfilled, to be denied and delayed as I am right now. And so just like I said, kind of looking ahead, going into 2026, and especially for the reset, I'm very excited about what we're going to do. I don't know, what the theme will be yet, but I know that it will align with those. And for me, it is about holding space for women. It is about, especially us as Black women, I want to hold space for us because we need it. We deserve it. I know the theme of this year, 2025, has been rest for 92% of us, and that's fine. We all deserve our rest and our time, but I know we're all still working because I know I'm still working behind the scenes. I know you still working too. And so I'm just saying, I think for 2026, it is going to be about honoring that and honoring the actions and honoring the things that we have discovered in this time and having the moment to come together and say, okay, we've rested, we've reflected, we've strategized, we've redesigned, we've refined, and we have renewed ourselves. Now, what are we going to do with all that energy? And how are we going to get it out and do something amazing? And so I think in 2026, the Reset Experience is going to be about how to do it, what to do, when to do it, and let's come together and get it done. And so I wanted to talk about it, not just because, of course, I wanted to honor what I have done, honor the reset, honor what it was, this beautiful space where women came together and felt renewed and restored and poured into. But I also want to take this space to remind you that if you are delayed, you are not denied, and that your time is coming. And that I want you to recognize the season that you're in and give reverence to it, give praise to it, be grateful for it, because you don't have anything to be upset about. So what I want to do, because I know I'm not the only one who's had these moments where, like I said, we've had to be denied a little bit, we had to be delayed a little bit. I'd like to invite you to close your eyes. Yes, close your eyes. We're going to do something a little different this time. I want you to take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Breathe in, breathe out. One more. Breathe in and breathe out. And as you are breathing in and breathing out and your eyes are still closed, I want you to reflect on this past year. I want you to think about the wins, the wonderful things that occurred. Now I want you to shift and think about something that you had to pivot on. And I want you to think about the lessons that you had to learn in that pivot, in that shift. And what I want you to say to yourself is that delayed does not mean denied. And then I want you to end with a little grounding breath. And so we're going to do that together. We're going to take this wonderful deep breath in, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. And then now you're going to take that deep breath out and say delayed does not equal denied. The reason I wanted to do that is because I think it's very important that we ground ourselves. Because like I said, it's very easy to get caught up in what we never do, what we didn't do, what went wrong. But we have to recognize that in those shifts, in the pivots, there were still wins. And sometimes we need to let a win just to hit our mind really quick so that you can remember how far you've come and give praise and honor to that. And then speak over yourself that you are not denied. You're just in a season and you don't have to sit in that season forever. So I hope that that will help you ground. I hope that that will help you remember that you are going to move forward. And so, like I said, in closing, I want to thank you guys for everything that you have done for me to help me get to this space. I also want to give a praise to God, to everyone who has supported me on the journey, and especially to everyone who got a chance to come to the reset and experience it last year. Thank you. I am so grateful that God gave me the strength and the vision to be able to do something so beautiful last year. I'm very grateful and thankful that you guys understand the pause that I've made this year. And I hope that you are excited about what is going to happen next year. Because like I said, I have a whole new story to tell, a whole new version. It's a whole new me. And I'm very excited to talk about who I am becoming and growing, because I know that all of us are in a season of growing and becoming. And I anticipate beautiful growth on display for all of us together. So I hope that you will carry an attitude of positivity, an attitude of that I may be delayed right now, but I am not going to be denied. And I am going to keep moving forward in all beautiful things, because you deserve it. You deserve it. And just as like a small little gift, I guess, I don't know if it's a gift or just something I want you to use to remind yourself of this moment and what we're trying to do. I have a few affirmations for you that I want to give you. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to actually record like a little separate affirmations to go along with this, like a little companion mini episode that you can use with you. But I wanted to share them here too, because I think it's important. and especially as they tie to the reset. So, one, let's talk about mental health. This is an affirmation for you to say to yourself, either when you need it or to say it daily, whatever gives you that opportunity to let it ground in your soul. So, mentally, I will give myself permission to rest and renew my mind. Physical, I honor my body as the vessel God gave me. Financial, I am a wise steward of my resources. Community, I attract authentic connections that uplift and support me. Those are some affirmations that I hope that you will take with you, because it is very important for me to pour into you the way that you pour into me. And so, yes, that is the episode. It is, like I said, definitely been a beautiful journey this year. Lots of pivots, lots of adjustments, but I'm very grateful for it all. It has been a beautiful, crazy, hectic, stressful year of being delayed but not denied. And I look forward to doing the reset again in 2026. But I look forward to being back next week with a brand new episode. So see, you're not getting rid of me. I'm going to be around all the time. And so again, like I said, I want to thank you guys for listening. I hope that this Sunday you are resting and enjoying your family or doing something that makes you happy. Please take care of yourselves and each other. I will make sure that I have all of my information in the show notes. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow. And don't forget to tell your story. Don't forget to speak life over yourself. Don't forget that you are amazing and that you deserve the best. And that even if seasons don't look like that right now, the best is coming, because the best is inside of you. You just have to own it and let it out. So I'm thankful and I love you, and I will talk to you guys next week. Ta-ta! Mwah.